A shepherd boy tended his master's sheep near a dark forest not far from the village. Soon he found life in the pasture very dull. All he could do to amuse himself was to talk to his dog or play his shepherd's pipe. One day, as he sat watching the sheep and the quiet forest and thinking what he would do should he see a wolf, he thought of a plan to amuse himself. His master had told him to call for help should a wolf attack the flock, and the villagers would drive it away. So now, though he had not seen anything that even looked like a wolf, he ran toward the village shouting at the top of his voice, "Wolf! Wolf!" As he expected, the villagers who heard the cry dropped their work and ran in great excitement to the pasture. But when they got there, they found the boy doubled up with laughter at the trick he had played on them. A few days later, the shepherd boy again shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" Again, the villagers ran to help him, only to be laughed at again. Then one evening, as the sun was setting behind the forest and the shadows were creeping over the pasture, a wolf really did spring from the underbrush and fall upon the sheep. In terror, the boy ran toward the village shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" But though the villagers heard the cry, they did not run to help him as they had before. "He cannot fool us again," they said. The wolf killed a great many of the boy's sheep and then slipped away into the forest. Liars are not believed even when they speak the truth. Welcome to season 3, buddy.
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a little rusty. Feeling a little rusty. Feeling like I've got to get back in the saddle again.
Back in the saddle?
Yeah. Felt like I fell off my pony.
Isn't that an Aerosmith song? Back in the saddle again?
Maybe, but I don't know that kind of stuff.
That
would be my wife would probably know that because I think she likes that bunch.
She likes that
whatever
bunch.
They're called. Yeah,
Aerosmith?
But, yeah, I think that's back in the day, right?
Yeah, probably. Your day.
My day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I feel a little rusty. Got to get back in the saddle. It's been a little bit, but you know what? Let's do it.
Exactly. So yeah, like this is season 3, and actually in season 3 we will be celebrating 1 full year of the Stop and Consider podcast. How crazy is that?
It's crazy because I'm just trying to think: is like anybody listening a year out? You know, like we're a year out. We've done this for a year almost, right? Are there people even listening?
So actually,
I think there are.
There are people listening,
right?
And I'd like to give a little shout out here at the first episode of season 3.
Yeah,
right?
I think we deserve to shout it out.
So
from the mountaintops.
Yeah, I'll give you a little background, and then I'll shout out this person. So we just finished camp.
Praise the Lord.
Okay? And at the recording of this podcast episode, camp is like not even a week removed.
Yes.
Like we just finished it
Feels like
last
it was
week, actually.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And so anyways, so in one of our camp weeks, there was a young boy camper who the first thing that he said when he saw me, when he showed up at camp on that Monday morning was, "Hey, Derrick, I'm listening to your podcast."
I love it.
And he's like, "I love it." And I subscribe to it.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh, man. So with that being said,
yes,
Thomas, if you listen to this episode, bro, here's a shout out.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, we love you. You're awesome. You are like a camp legend, just so you know.
He is.
And man, it is a true honor that of all people, you, Thomas, listen to this podcast.
We should have bobbleheads, Thomas bobbleheads, and he has his like Bancroft Bible Camp T-shirt on.
He did ask me, he's like, "Can you do an episode all about me?"
Well, maybe we could bring him in one day.
Hey,
you know what? As a guest,
little interview with Thomas.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That
Thomas is a good man.
Thomas is
he's growing up on us fast, is he not?
Yeah, for real.
Thomas used to be like 3'2". Now he's 3'3". No, he is. He's growing up. I'm like, man, that's awesome to see that. But
he's a good kid.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, so there are people.
So there
listening.
are people listening. That's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know.
Although I do wonder, like, is our calendar a little off? Like we've done 3 seasons and it hasn't even been a year yet.
Yeah, I feel like
maybe we should have spaced these things
like
out.
TV shows have 3 seasons in 12 years, and we've got 3 seasons in less than a year. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
I feel like we should spread these things out a little bit more.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't really know what we're doing. We're just doing.
That is 100% accurate. Yeah, we really have no idea.
In that
what we're
1 year
doing.
anniversary coming, I want to put it out there now.
Yep.
We will receive gifts, whatever, people want to send, fanfare or whatever they call it. Send it in. Because I think we deserve it.
I think so. I feel like we should make like an Amazon wish list, like a registry for our 1 year anniversary.
Kind of like a baby shower registry.
That's right.
Yeah.
For our anniversary.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that.
My daughter, speaking of that, it's kind of odd. She was going to a friend's a baby shower.
Okay.
But this is the person's second baby, so it's not called a baby shower. It's called a baby sprinkle.
Sprinkle?
I mean, what is wrong with this world?
Did they become Presbyterian?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I'm like, really? So yes, we will take gifts as if we were having a baby sprinkle, baby shower, anniversary,
baby bath,
whatever,
baby spritz. Call it what you want.
Whatever it is, send the gifts, because I think we deserve it, and that way it would show us the love of the folks that are listening.
That's right.
That are torturing themselves to listen to this. So, real quick, just a little useless tidbit of information. As you know, my phone died yesterday.
Yes, it did.
Flat out died on me. So I go down to, are we allowed to say the company?
Sure.
Yeah, AT&T.
Yeah.
Maybe you could give me something for free. But anyhow, I go down there and you go in and there's no one there, but there's 4 salespeople and they're like, like flies at a picnic.
Yeah.
And so they all come in, and I'm like, they think I'm coming to buy the iPhone 42 Max or whatever the number they're on. I don't even know anymore. But I'm like, I just need a phone to make a phone call.
Yep.
I don't need all this. Well, what kind of camera? I'm like, well, I don't really care.
Yeah, one that works.
I just need a phone.
Yep.
But anyhow, what a debacle! It's you could buy a car faster than you can buy a phone. Because it's just a lot. And then it's all of your stuff you got to set back up in your phone, which I'm not really that technical, in case you didn't know. Surprise.
Yeah.
So that was all night long of trying to get all that. But I did not lose my McDonald's app, and I did not lose all of my McDonald's points. So you know what? I feel like it's a win.
So I was just say it's a win.
It's a win. And I got my home screen picture of me and my wife that I loved. It's back on my new phone. What else do you need in life?
Wait, your wife that you loved?
I still love her. Wait a minute.
The picture you loved.
The picture. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, you're like, and my wife that I loved?
Yeah, I used to love her. I don't anymore. No, the picture of my wife and myself that was like my home screen thing with Bobber. Yeah. I got it on my new phone, and it's like, I've got my McDonald's app, I've got my Sonic app,
and
I got the picture that I love as my home screen. What else do you need in life?
My number.
I got that too. All of my contacts
transferred over.
Praise the Lord. Which, like yesterday, right when my phone died, I was in the middle of like 14 different things with all different things going on in my life.
Yeah.
And this phone dies. I'm like, you can't believe this isn't going to happen, right? You lose the contacts, you lose the text messages where it's like, I don't remember what I just said to this guy the last and whatever. But it looks like it's going to be okay.
Good.
Anyhow.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your new baby boy phone, whatever.
Baby boy phone.
Yeah, we'll have a shower. Okay.
Gender reveal party?
Gender reveal.
Is that what we're going to do?
Gender reveal. Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
So we are, so season 3.
Yeah.
We're going to be celebrating 1 year, about halfway through this season, maybe a little bit before halfway, give or take. I think it's in October.
So it's like about how many episodes from here? About 5-ish?
Maybe, something like that. 4 or 5 episodes from here.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in October. We're going to be celebrating that. So I would like to just kind of plug that real quick and just say, like, if you're listening to the podcast, we would love for like some of your feedback. Maybe even like send in, you can do it, via Facebook, through Bancroft Bible Camp Kingsport. You can send them that way, iMessage. You can send us emails, bancroftgospel1@gmail.com.
You can get your new AT&T phone and just call in.
There it is. You can do
whatever,
kind of things.
whatever it takes.
Or you can just leave, comments, or reviews, on, Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And listen, we're not just looking for the good.
Yeah.
We'll take a 1-star or we'll take the 5-star.
5 stars or 1 stars.
We can't make this any better unless we know how to improve ourselves.
Look at you.
Okay?
That's right.
So if there is someone that feels like we get the 1, and then that's like, if there was a 0 star, I'd do 0, but the least I can do is 1. Okay, well, do that and let us know.
Yeah, and
is it me that has to disappear? Then fine, I'll do it. Okay? But whatever, but let's hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what are we going to do? Highlight that? And,
so we're going to have an episode that is all listener feedback and comments and that kind of stuff about just different highlights, things that stood out to you, or certain episodes and topics that we talked about or different things like that, whether it's things that were just fun and you enjoyed, whether it was things that maybe impacted you in some way or
Sure.
challenged you, or whatever it was. We would love to hear that, and then we're just going to have on our
100th year.
100th year. That's right. On our 1 year anniversary episode, we're going to be highlighting all that different stuff and kind of
listener appreciation episode.
There you go. Ooh, I like that.
See?
Listener appreciation. Yeah. So
all three
we're
of
going to
you.
keep that in mind. We're going to be putting more stuff out to kind of let you know about it. Also, we will be doing a giveaway during that episode. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, mainly because we're still trying to figure out what it's going to be. But there will be a giveaway for our 1 year.
And how are we going to pick the winner?
Well, time will tell.
Time will tell.
See.
Okay.
You'll see.
Maybe what we could do.
It may be like as they comment and that kind of stuff,
Yes.
we'll put their names in like a tub or something.
Everyone. The only way you can register to win
Yeah.
is you have to comment.
Oh, I like that.
That will draw, round up people to comment. And then what I think we do live on the air, because we are live, right?
We draw the name.
We put the names in little whatevers, and we get our bingo roller thing.
Oh, yeah.
It won't come out the bottom, but anyhow, we'll figure that out. But anyhow,
It'll come through the slab.
yeah, whatever. We'll roll it, and then
I like that.
we'll have like a guest come in. Maybe Thomas could come in that day and draw the winner. But yeah. And
Hey, that's
so
not a bad idea.
only if you comment, you can register to win.
Yeah. And again, you can comment on anywhere you listen to the podcast. You can comment by sending in emails or, messages on Facebook or whatever it is. However you comment.
And even if you wanted to just mail, if that's the only way you could get it done, just mail the thing in, right? And maybe just put attention, podcast.
Yeah. Stop and consider
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, however, wherever, whatever.
Exactly.
Let's get that done. Get your name put into the drawing for that fantastic prize, whatever it may be.
It might be like a 14-day cruise.
It may be like
that.
or it could be just like a frozen turkey, whatever. I don't know why that came to my mind, but anyhow.
It's getting closer to Thanksgiving.
Yes,
that 1 year is.
So there you go. People may appreciate that, a frozen turkey. But
maybe a meal from Jeff.
Maybe a meal for
Jeff.
Uncle Jeff. Did you say how many day cruise? 14?
14 day. I just need a break, so that's why I'm thinking 14 days.
You're not winning it though.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, maybe who wins? Maybe it's like just a husband and wife, and they have no one else. Maybe they'd take you with them if it's like for 4 people.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe there's a chance.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll see.
And I'm not going with you because I'm tired of you. Anyhow, that's exciting. That's super exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Well,
so this episode
jump
here,
in it.
we kind of started off with Aesop's Fable. It's actually called The Shepherd Boy and the Wolf, but most people just remember it as The Boy Who Cried Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I think has kind of resonated with me recently is this idea of the boy who cried wolf. And so it's this concept of, whether you're joking like he was, in the story or whatever, always kind of saying something that's deceptive or lying. And it causes people then to stop believing anything that you say, that kind of an idea. And there's other little stories, that you think about. I mean, obviously you've got Aesop's Fables, but then you've even got like Chicken Little.
Yeah, I told you before we started, I'm not 100% familiar with Chicken Little.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with chicken, but not Chicken Little.
You're familiar with chicken, not Chicken Little. So Chicken Little is another story, and they even made a movie about it too. It's about this chicken who always cried that the sky was falling. So like an acorn, he's like walking outside one day underneath a tree, and an acorn falls and hits his head. And all of a sudden he's like, what just happened? And he starts screaming and starts spreading this whole big thing that the sky is falling, the sky is falling. It's like doomsday kind of stuff. Only to find out later that, the sky's not falling at all.
It was an acorn.
It was an acorn.
Yeah.
And so like he creates this mass hysteria, all this different stuff simply because, he thought this one thing was true when it really wasn't. And so essentially, whether he was fully aware of it or not, he was lying and being deceptive and deceiving other people to the point where they all believed him until they realized it wasn't true anymore.
Right.
And then they're like, I don't believe this guy, You've also got like Pinocchio, which is like the classic Disney, right? And I mean, what would happen every time Pinocchio told a lie.
His nose would grow.
His nose would grow, and like it would just keep growing and growing, right?
Yeah.
And it would end up getting him
Kind
in
of like
trouble.
a hot dog. Anyhow.
Yes,
Sorry
it was
about
kind of like a
that.
hot dog. Sorry about that.
Right, just
Exactly. But again, like Pinocchio,
Mhm.
like he would lie and lie and lie, and
Yeah.
his nose would continue to grow, right? And so he was just telling all these lies. And so, like, that's one of the things that I think we want to focus on this episode is the importance of honesty,
Mhm.
and the issue of deception and lies.
Mhm.
Which actually I think is pretty interesting too, simply because we just came out of our summer camp, and our theme for summer was Battle Royale, and we were focusing on the armor of God, and specifically as it regards to this episode, talking about the belt of truth
Yeah.
and what that kind of looks like. So we're going to dive into some of that stuff throughout this episode, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I think.
So I got a quick question pertaining to this about lying. Do you remember as a younger feller, you lying to your mom and getting caught? Do you have like one specific? I have two that are related that I remember, and they're not really that great. But it was a time that I lied, and my mom knew I was lying, and I had to go correct the lie.
Oh, tell
which
me.
one was? It wasn't that great.
Oh, do
But,
tell.
I have always had a liking for lawn care and things of this nature, in
Yes.
case you didn't know.
No, I do. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I was driving or not at the time. I must have been, but anyhow, my mom and I were going by this housing place one time, and they had these big sprinklers sticking up, and they were black and white on their, big, tall sprinklers sticking along in the lawn.
Yeah.
And I said something to her about it. I said, "Oh, look at those. Those are cool. I've never seen something that looks like that before." Well, like 2 days later, there was one of those at our house.
What?
Yeah, because I went by and took one. That's also called stealing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, she said, "Where'd that come from?" I said, "Well, I bought it." And she says, "No, you didn't. I know where that came from because you pointed it out to me last week or whenever that was."
Right.
So I got caught lying, and I had to take it back, and I had to go over there and put it back together. That was one. That wasn't as bad. The second one is at CB Smith Park. You remember that back home?
Oh, yeah.
I stole a sprinkler head from there.
What?
I had a little problem. You know what I'm saying?
You're stealing sprinkler head.
Yeah, like really.
Like
But
what?
anyhow, same thing with Mom caught me, and I came up with a cockamamie story, whatever that was, and she said, no, you tell me where you got that, because she knew I didn't go buy it somewhere, right? And I said, well, I got it from CB Smith Park. She took me over to CB Smith Park. I had to go into the main office and tell them, I stole this sprinkler head from you. Here it is. I'm terribly sorry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so anyhow, lying doesn't get you far, especially with my mom. But anyhow, it wasn't terrible, but I did thief those, and I lied about it, and so yeah, Mom made me go correct myself.
But yeah, so again, I think with lying, I think it's more common maybe than we would like to classify.
Have you ever, and I know that it's happened, have you ever said something, you're just not even trying, you're not trying to lie about something, you say something, and then maybe you're in a quick conversation, and then later on you're just thinking through that conversation, like, I misspoke there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I consciously, intentionally lied or was thinking, let me lie about this. It just came out. And then there's times you have to go back and say, hey, I think I misspoke.
Yeah.
Let me correct this,
Right.
But then there's times that we dream this whole scheme up.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna look at what a lie is and that kind of stuff here in a little bit as well. But so when we think about the boy who cried wolf and like the opening story that we had, I was doing some research. I'm like, I wonder if there's like real life examples of this concept, right? Where somebody's constantly saying something, but then it ends up biting them in the butt when it actually mattered. And so there's two in particular I wanted to bring up. So one of them is the boy king. Okay, so this is King John of England from 1215 AD. So let me tell you a little bit about King John of England. Okay, King John lied so frequently to his barons that it directly led to his ruin and the fracturing of his kingdom. Throughout his reign, John repeatedly made solemn peace treaties and promises to respect the rights of his nobles, only to break them the moment he raised enough taxes or mercenary troops. That sounds about right.
This has been going on for how long now?
It's been going on for a while.
12, 15?
So I'm going to make all these treaties and promises until I can get enough money from your taxes.
Then forget you.
Then I'm done. So in 1215, after years of these broken promises, John signed, there's a famous document called the Magna Carta, to avert a rebellion, swearing to uphold its laws. Having cried wolf too many times, the barons completely refused to trust his signature. They ignored his pleas for peace and immediately invited Prince Louis of France to invade England and seize John's throne. Driven to ruin by his own dishonesty, John spent his final months on the run, losing his crown jewels in a swamp before dying of dysentery while his country was engulfed in a civil war he could have prevented. Way to go, King John.
Yeah. Good job, buddy.
That's what happens when you cry wolf one too many times in the political realm.
So you cry wolf, and you tell all these lies, and where did they get the guy?
Dead in losing his crown jewels in a swamp and then dying of dysentery.
Yeah.
Yay. That sounds like the end of a liar.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
There you go.
Here's another one that took place about 650 years later. Okay. In 1860, a little bit closer to modern day.
Yeah.
In 1865. This is called the Appomattox Deception.
Why are both these people's named John?
Is it your name, John?
Yes.
Oh, my. All right, so the Appomattox Deception in 1865. During the final days of the American Civil War, Confederate General John B. Gordon utilized a deliberate strategy of false surrenders and fake truces to buy his retreating troops time, which sounds noble. We're retreating. I need to save my men, and so I'm going to do some false surrenders and fake truces just so I can help get my men to escape.
Okay.
Sounds noble, right? On several occasions, Gordon sent out white flags or messages proposing a ceasefire, only for Union commanders to discover it was a lie to allow his soldiers to reposition or escape.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that remind me of like the ceasefires that are off and on taking place over in Iran right now?
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to 1865.
And raise the gas prices.
That's right. On April 9th, 1865, at Appomattox Courthouse, which is a pretty important place when we look at the Civil War, Gordon's forces were finally legitimately surrounded and facing total annihilation. He sent an officer forward with a genuine white flag to request an urgent, real surrender to stop the slaughter. Remembering his past deceptions, the Union commanders assumed he was lying again to buy time. They ordered their men to ignore the white flag and advance, resulting in a brutal, unnecessary final cavalry charge that decimated Gordon's remaining lines before the surrender was finally accepted. Again,
I like it's what it says. You know, he's sending out like the real white flag now.
Yeah, like this is the real one.
Well, hello.
But you
Your
faked
14
it so many
others
times.
Weren't real to begin with, so why now am I going to believe?
Why do I believe it's going to happen now? And instead, now, when I truly need it,
you're not.
It
no
comes
one's
to bite me
believe
in the
it.
butt,
Yeah.
you know, and now it's complete decimation and a brutal cavalry charge,
That's crazy.
you know, and
The moral to the story.
ends the, you know, the Civil War essentially,
Yeah.
you know,
The moral to the story. Yeah, just tell the truth.
yeah, just tell the truth. Yeah, like what was the motto or whatever from The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Liars are not believed even when they speak the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, back when you were younger, there was always the one friend, or maybe not such a friend, but a kid that you knew that he never told the truth about anything.
Yeah.
It was always some, big story, and you're like, this is never the truth. For one, you don't want to be around people like that because you're like, why do I want to be around you? Because you never tell the truth. And then two, if they ever did really tell the truth, you never think they're telling the truth because, well, you never tell it anyhow. So why am I supposed to believe you?
Yeah.
And it's aggravating. Anyhow.
So a little bit more modern day, and maybe one that some people can
relate to.
At least if you're living, around the coast somewhere or in Florida.
I see it.
Would be hurricane season. Or just I need to be careful here. Meteorologists in general.
Well,
like my weather app that I try to keep up with.
Okay, so what upsets me about that is that I'm trying to think of which one I use here. Let me see. It's called
Storm
Track 5.
Yep, that's what I use.
What bless their hearts, bless all of them. I hope you're listening to our podcast and give us all 5-star reviews. But anyhow,
You probably won't.
the
after
thing
our
that
comments.
bothers me is that if I look this morning and it says 20% chance of rain, so you plan your day for 20%, which 20% is like, okay, it's probably not going to rain.
Right.
But then all of a sudden you look outside and there's this ginormous black cloud with a funnel hanging out of the bottom of it, and you look back at Storm Track 5 and now it says 140% chance of storms are going to kill everybody.
Right.
But this morning you told me 20.
Yeah.
So I'm
which
a
one is
little
it?
confused. And then as far as like the hurricanes, right? Being a Floridian, I think where you're leaning on this is it's coming, and then it doesn't show up.
Yeah. Then the
Or
problem is that it never shows
yeah.
up, and so then you just kind of get like lax.
Yes. And then that one
Comes.
decides it's going to come, and now you've done nothing because the 14 of them before that, you're like,
Yeah.
ain't going to come. Right.
And you could probably tell stories about times when, over the years, you always heard it.
Yes.
And so people are like, whatever. And then all of a sudden you've got the big one. I don't know if Hurricane Andrew, was it 95?
That was 91-ish.
91-ish, 92.
Like
Something
right
like
when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So
It's
91.
It's like all of a sudden that one comes
Might have been
through
summer.
and it's like,
Yeah,
That's
that was a monster.
because people then don't believe it. So then they don't
Right.
evacuate.
They don't
like they're
evacuate. They
supposed
don't
to.
prepare.
Yeah.
Because they've heard this so many times.
Right.
And they're exhausting, whether they arrive or not. They're exhausting. They're exhausting to prepare for them. They're exhausting listening to the weather for a week. It just wears you. And then you're worn out, and then the thing doesn't show up. So you're like, the next time, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not putting up them shutters because it didn't show up last time. And then the day you don't put up your shutters is the one time it shows up.
Yep.
And then it kills everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. And even with not just hurricane, but even just with the forecasts here.
Yep.
Or anywhere. I mean, and they are dealing with Mother Nature, and God is ultimately in control of our weather, right?
Right.
But like it's gonna rain, it never rains, but they keep saying it's gonna rain, it never rains, and it's like,
yeah,
it's old.
It kind of reminds me of like camp season 2, like going through that because we have to watch the weather 24/7.
We have children we're responsible for, and they could be up in the woods.
Yeah.
And lightning strikes how far away? Remember you told me yesterday.
10 miles away.
10 miles away. I mean, that's like from here to McDonald's.
Right.
No,
Which is why my lightning app is set to 10 miles.
McDonald's.
Well, hey, no plugs, no plugs.
Yeah, but right. So we are responsible, obviously, for the kids and our people.
Yeah.
Being
So like
here.
you've got the safety aspect,
you're
but then
watching,
we've got the programming too. To where if rain comes, it shifts our programming and what we're going to do.
Right. Which
we're always watching it.
Past couple of weeks, there had to be a few shifts.
Yeah.
Because of weather, right?
Yeah. Because we had some pretty good stuff that went through.
Right. And so then if you, for one, if you don't have a plan in place to shift, if it rains, you're going to get caught.
Yep.
Right. But then, you might have shifted to plan B because of weather, and then it never shows up, and it's like, darn it.
Yeah.
Now we really could have been out there playing octoball. We'll just play mud octoball.
Which we did.
Which I saw a lot of pictures. Yeah. So that is a great example, just weather in general of, you hate to say they're lying because I think they're doing their best with what resources they have, but it sure seems like you're lying.
Yeah. Because you're right. Like
it's really more
weather
the wolf, the crying the wolf. It's like
where you're intentionally doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For a joke or for whatever. And so there's an intentionality to it so that when it finally does become real, nobody then believes you. Because it doesn't matter that you told the truth if you've told a lie the last 50 times, because again, liars are not believed even when they speak the truth. So then you have like more of this reputation of you're dishonest.
Yeah, you're
a
just a liar.
So why would I believe anything that you say?
Right.
And I think we deal with that in a lot of different ways for sure.
It makes me think of just as simple as a younger child, maybe your own child. My head hurts. I don't feel well. My stomach hurts. And maybe there are times they don't feel well, but then there's times maybe they're saying that because they want to get out of schoolwork or they want to get out of this, they want to get out of that. And it's like, well, I mean, your stomach hurts every day.
Yeah.
And then we're going to the doctor.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Just maybe children at times do a little wolf crying just to
get
out
what they want.
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
and I mean, children do it, and so do
I mean,
adults.
so do adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It just made me think of like kids, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh, my things that you really can't prove. I can't prove that your stomach hurts, so then you tell me my stomach hurts.
She's like, oh,
know?
I am so full, I can't eat another bite.
Yeah. What's
So
for
you-
dessert?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop and consider as turning 1.
Happy birthday!
You know, JT and I can't believe it's already been 1 year since we launched the podcast. Honestly, it seems like only yesterday when we birthed it. But now it's time to celebrate, and we want you to be a part of the party. So this fall, during season 3 of the Stop and Consider podcast, we're going to have a very special birthday celebration episode where we will highlight listener comments as a way to celebrate our podcast birthday. We want to know about the episodes that stood out to you, how the episodes have encouraged you, and honestly, just your general feedback and comments. Whether it's 5 stars or a 1 star, we want to hear from you. Plus, instead of receiving birthday gifts like you normally would, one lucky listener will win a special giveaway. So you can submit your comments and feedback to us either through Facebook and Facebook Messenger at Bancroft Bible Camp Kingsport, or you can email us at bancroftgospel1@gmail.com, or through leaving a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Every person who submits a comment, review, or highlight will automatically be entered into the giveaway, and the winner will be announced in our birthday celebration episode. So if you want to be entered into the special giveaway contest, make sure you do your submissions by October 2nd. So come celebrate with us. We're so grateful for you, and as always, thanks for listening. And so with this idea and this concept of lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The boy who cried wolf. I think one aspect of lying that comes up that I think is more frequent today than it was, a couple hundred years ago, is this idea of a little white lie. Like, it's a lie that's really not that big of a deal, really doesn't hurt anybody, nobody's really going to notice. And so I can just tell this little white lie just to kind of get out of something real quick or whatever it is, right? And so it's interesting because this phrase, little white lie, actually dates back to the 18th century when the word white was widely used to describe something innocent or blameless or morally clean. And it was used to distinguish these benign, protective fibs or whatever it is from like malicious lies and terrible things, right?
So it's like a chart of.
Yeah, there was almost like a hierarchy of whether or not this is a lie.
Oh, that's a. Were they color coded? Oh, that's just a white lie.
This is a red one.
This is a red one.
It's a brown one.
Yeah, like what's the worst one? Like.
So actually, I believe black.
I was just
was the worst one.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Oh, you said a black lie.
Yeah. And so they made this distinction because white always kind of viewed purity and innocence and that kind of stuff, right? And black was more tainted and dirty and
just
and
a little
evil,
white lie.
And
But a lie is a lie as far as I'm concerned, but okay.
Well, it is. And so, and we're going to talk about that more, but I just think it's interesting that, a little white lie. And so I was like, let me just look up some definitions of this. And so, I put it into the trusty resource of Google AI.
Yeah. That is, I see. The Webster's lower. I was going to say that's taken the place of our good old Webster dictionary.
Yes. So I was like, let's just start with that
This is the
AI.
authority.
I just put in little white lie definition. I was like, what is AI going to say? And so here's AI's definition of a little white lie. It is a harmless, trivial untruth told with good intentions.
See?
It's not that big of a deal. I meant well when I said it.
Right. I told that little white lie because I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how good of a person I am.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the part of that I think is really interesting is the good intentions. Because how often do we tell these small little things, for that reason? I just don't want to offend you. I don't want to
tell you
upset.
I don't like your beard, so I'll lie and tell you your beard looks great.
It's like, do I look fat in this dress?
Do I look fat in this shirt? Well, let's just tell the truth.
And let's just say, guys, anytime a woman.
That's when you bring out the white lie, buddy. Don't you ever? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like just always say you're
Yes.
beautiful no matter what. Just
Yes.
kind of leave
So,
it there.
You know,
right?
a little ring. You know, my wife is working very hard on a diet. I am not, if you can't tell by the camera.
At least you're wearing black.
Yeah, at least I'm
which
wearing
we
black.
both are. So that's good.
It's slimming.
It is slimming.
But I must need to wear more black because I need to look slimmer. But she's working really hard at a diet, and so she'll try on a shirt or a whatever that, you know, when she was thinner. Anyhow, she'll try something on. She says, "How does this look on me?" Now,
That's
I'm
so
not gonna
dangerous.
I'm not gonna, because she's gonna listen, and then she's gonna say, "You've been lying to me." But there's, you know, just be cautious. Is all I can tell you. Like, it looks great.
It's great, always.
And she does look great because she's doing a really good job at it. I need to put a plug in because I'm trying to get like a chocolate cake baked or something. Go ahead with the
But
other
I do.
definitions.
I think
Yep.
the good intentions again is an interesting concept of that, because again, like, how often are we doing that? And what is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know, it's like hell
Well,
on earth and hell in
I'm
the
paving
afterlife.
an interstate then. No. No, yeah, that's true.
So I was like, okay, well, let me look at something maybe a little bit more, like, I don't know, credible
Yeah.
than AI.
What?
So I went to Cambridge Dictionary, and this is what they said. A little white lie is a lie that is told in order to be polite or to stop someone from being upset by the truth.
Didn't I just say, right? I don't want to, I'm just going to tell you that your beard looks good because I don't want to upset you.
Yeah.
But it looks horrible.
Yeah.
Bam. Yeah.
And you know, think culturally right now,
Be
too.
polite.
How often are we doing this?
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're going to tell this little white lie because I want to stop someone from being upset by
Mhm.
telling them the truth. You know, whether it's, you know, do I look fat in this, or even when we're pointing out sin. Like, think about that too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to tell you the truth because I don't want you to get upset. I don't want you to be offended. You know,
Yeah.
and again,
I don't
like,
wanna hurt
our
your
culture right
feelings.
now, everybody gets offended
By everything.
You know,
What Mama used to say? The truth hurts.
that's exactly right.
And Mama also used to say, I don't know if it pertains to this, but she'd always still say, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, but the truth hurts. And there are times that you might need to tell somebody the truth and it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And if they're a true friend or they're your true wife, no, I'm kidding. But they'll have to accept that.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
there's times that you and I, or we all need to hear the truth, whether it hurts or not.
Exactly. So
So
I
just
thought,
tell me the truth.
I thought
Go
that was
ahead.
an interesting definition
Yeah.
because, again, I think it
Yep.
speaks to where our culture is
Mhm.
and what we do on a regular basis, because we don't want to make somebody else upset. We don't want to create conflict.
Offend
We don't want to
someone.
offend somebody. And
Yeah,
so
it's-
I can't tell you the truth. So I'm gonna fudge it a little
Mhm.
bit, just so I can kind of keep peace.
keep peace.
You know.
That's
But
so-
it's still a
That
lie.
just goes down a dusty, dirty road.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Because then that little, I said this little white lie or this little untruth
Mhm.
so that I don't offend you, that I don't upset you, that there's a chance that's just going to grow.
Yep.
You know, now it's a bigger
Yep.
snowball because now I got to tell another it doesn't end.
Yeah, it's a lot. So then I was like, okay, let me go to Merriam-Webster,
That's the
which is like the standard.
authority.
right?
Yes.
Although we're gonna talk about Merriam-Webster and his definition of stuff here in just a little bit, in a different way.
okay.
But if you go to, you know, Merriam-Webster's dictionary today, the little white lie is actually in there, and it's defined as a lie about a small or unimportant matter that someone tells to avoid hurting another person. There it is again,
Mhm.
right? You've got the idea of not wanting to upset somebody. You're just trying to be polite.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid hurting them in some way,
See,
making them feel bad. Or
I think it's
whatever it is.
okay.
Yeah.
I like the part too that it's an unimportant matter.
Unimportant, yeah.
So, it's okay because this isn't that important. Go
Exactly.
ahead.
So
You
I
don't
can
have-
lie
yeah,
about it,
right.
and it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
And so, like, this whole concept of a little white lie, I think it happens a whole lot more than we think. And I think the little white lie is happening on more of a subconscious level,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
to where this is just common courtesy,
Yeah.
right? I'm just trying to be cordial.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to be respectful,
Yeah.
you know, in public settings or whatever it is. But the fact is, like, it's still a lie.
Yeah. It gets to be where you're not even thinking about that. It just comes right out and you move right on because you do this so much and it's in society. It's everywhere that, hey, just keep moving.
Exactly. And so thinking about
Yeah.
this concept of a little white lie, it reminded me because, well, I mean, I'm just a good Christian.
Well, you're better than I am.
So I've watched all the VeggieTale movies.
You didn't steal sprinkler heads.
Well, the barometer for my degree of Christianity
Barometer
is the fact that I've watched pretty much every VeggieTales that has ever been made.
Is this when you were a child or because you have children?
Oh no, when I was a child and growing up, when I was in high school.
When you're in high school, you watch VeggieTales?
Yeah. Dude, it was all the rage when I was in high school.
What's wrong with this
They were
kid?
coming out with stuff all the time. Okay.
But so I know VeggieTales because I have children.
Okay.
I don't know VeggieTales because I watched them when I was a child.
I
don't think VeggieTales was around when I was a child because I'm a pinch older than
That's
you.
also true.
But VeggieTales.
Well, you got the theme song. There you go.
VeggieTales.
That was close.
I think
Timbo was
Brittany,
slightly off.
Riley, one of them, I should remember, one of my children, they had a VeggieTales birthday.
Did they
When were
really?
a small child. Yeah.
Look at that.
And real fast, just a little plug for Veggie. I cut out of styrofoam Larry the cucumber.
Larry the cucumber.
And Bob the tomato.
There you go.
And Larry the cucumber, I cut a hole where his face would be, so each child could stick their head in the little hole and they take a picture.
Look at that. Look at that.
Okay, go ahead.
See,
tell us.
you know VeggieTales.
Yeah.
So my favorite VeggieTales character is actually Larry Boy. He is the superhero, Larry the cucumber, with the plunger, super suction ears, actually, but they're plungers that are sticking off the side of his head. He's by far my favorite character.
Super
but anyways,
what?
Super suction ears.
I have never in my life.
They're plungers, and
I don't
they
know if I knew
project
that.
out, and they stick to things, and he can like rappel up, or he can like he can catch.
You seem to be like excited about this.
He can catch a bad guy by shooting the plunger out from his mask, and catches them, and then he drags them back in.
Okay.
I actually used to have the toy Larry Mobile, which was a big Larry Boy car, and the wheels were plungers. And then you could press this button and the plungers would shoot off and wings would shoot out and then he would fly. It was pretty sweet.
You are excited about this.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Maybe we can find one of those. I could buy you one.
Yeah, I wish I
put
still
it on
had
like your
mine.
little shelf where you keep your neat little things.
Yeah, anybody listening, if you've got a Larry Mobile, or you
Mobile
have access to one,
plunger wheels.
Yeah, I would love to
like
reflect to be nostalgic. Of
you don't
my
think your
childhood.
mom has it like in the attic or something?
I don't think so.
I don't. She doesn't seem to be like throw it away.
Well, anything that she kept, she has now sent to us. So I think I have all of my childhood belongings. So maybe I do have it. I might have it in a tub. I need to
Okay. Cut. We're gonna run to the house and look through the attic.
see if we can find it. Yeah. But anyway, there was an episode of VeggieTales that came out that was called Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole concept through it is it's just a little fib.
Yeah.
Like it's really not that
a
big
little
deal.
white lie.
Right. And so Junior Asparagus had broken a plate, okay, and he lied about it.
Junior Asparagus.
And so what ended up happening in the episode is that he told this lie, this little white lie, this little fib. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was harmless.
Didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but he was trying to get out of getting in trouble.
Okay.
Right? And so he tells a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But then from that one, he had to try and cover up that lie by telling another lie.
Yeah.
And then it continued to grow little bit by little bit because every lie he told, he had to tell another one to cover it up.
Yeah.
And so basically lies beget lies, beget lies, beget lies.
Never ends.
Exactly. And so what would happen in the episode is you've got this little space alien kind of thing that he's a fib from outer space, right?
Okay.
And he's really, really small, harmless, not that big of a deal. But every lie that Junior Asparagus told, he would grow and he would grow and he would keep getting bigger until all of a sudden he's this massive monster that's like destroying the city and all that kind of stuff. Almost kind of like King Kong, like getting up to the top, like grabbing, It was the same kind of concept, right? And so Larry Boy comes to the rescue, except he can't defeat the fib from outer space because the fib is all made up of the continual lying that Junior Asparagus had, right? So the only way that the fib from outer space could actually be defeated was finally for Junior Asparagus to tell the truth. And then he had to go through every one of his lies and say, that was a lie. Here's the truth. That was a lie.
Wow.
Here's the truth. Until finally the fib was so small, he could be captured and defeated,
Did you watch this recently or you remember this when you were 5?
I remember it that well.
Wow.
You are welcome. It actually is probably one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, I believe it was the very first Larry Boy episode that they ever put out.
Maybe we could get together one day, get some snacks and a few whatever, and maybe we could watch that together.
I'm all for it.
You know?
Can we?
Well, maybe not. I didn't know you were going to be that excited about it.
I would watch it right now.
Wow.
Like, you know what? Let's just stop the podcast, and I'm just going to go watch VeggieTales.
I feel like that when you were saying about, he had to go through each one of those lies and say, this is where, okay, this is where, and, kind of like dissect each one of them. I'm not calling your children liars, but I feel like you've done that to your kids once. Poor Bryce, he said, this is where I lied. This is where I lied. And you're like, that's right. Veggie, the whatever, cucumber.
And the next one.
And the next one. And you're a asparagus and a.
But I think, kind of like the moral of it, again, kind of goes back to liars aren't believed even when they speak the truth. Mm-hmm. But probably more importantly, like living dishonestly has consequences. Yeah. And so like Junior, he's constantly telling these lies and it creates a consequence, a very, very big one.
Right.
That actually is impacting not just him,
others now,
but other people, and a lot of his lies actually ended up affecting other people because he was telling lies about other people because slowly but surely he had to create this story,
covering up and
keep
covering
it all up. And so it started affecting all these different things. And the fact is this, eventually it found him out.
Right.
Yeah. And so the fact is, like, living dishonestly has consequences, and you actually aren't ever going to get away with anything, even if you think that you will. I think it's Numbers chapter 35, maybe. Like, it says, like, be sure your sin will find you out. Like, you're going to be found out, right? There will be consequences, and in fact, you're not going to get away with anything. And in fact, you're going to look significantly worse if you lie than if you just simply told the truth from the very beginning. Right. Take Larry Boy and the Fit from Outer Space. If Junior would have just said, hey, yeah, I broke the plate. Now, that would have been bad. He probably would have gotten punished in some way because he was doing something he wasn't supposed to. But how much worse was it?
As you add on more and more.
And now he's having to, like, make public confession because now the townspeople are around.
Yep.
And now he's having to go through all these different things. It just makes it significantly worse when we continue to lie or have little white lies or little fibs that continually grow into a monster.
Yeah.
So I thought about this whole, this whole like little white lie thing. And it was interesting because there were some news articles that kind of came up because I was like, just what are some examples of people using this phrase little white lie, right? So one of the most honest networks out there, in my opinion, would be CNN.
Okay.
That's a little white. That might have been a little fib.
I was going to say.
Right there. I don't think they're very honest at all, to be honest.
Thank you for clearing that up because I was just thinking our ratings just went.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think it's interesting because CNN in one of their articles one time actually said this, making up stories, even the tiniest white lies, takes more energy than simply telling it like it is. And I'm like,
they need to
probably practice what you preach. Maybe seen it.
That's right. Yeah.
But again, it reminds me of Junior Asparagus. Like, how much effort did it take
to keep that ball rolling?
To create another aspect to the story and to kind of keep it going. You know what I mean?
You just tell the truth to begin with and face the music.
And what's interesting, it becomes exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it becomes exhausting, and it slowly but surely eats away at you, and it just drains you of life.
Sometimes, and I'm sure we've all done this, you tell a lie and then you have to cover it up and whatever. And before long, you forget, like when you're a kid, when you're a kid, you're trying to wiggle your way out of something with your mom or whatever. And you're like, oh man, I forgot the beginning of this story now. It doesn't come back as Larry the Cucumber so well like it did for you. And I'm like, oh man, I've sunk this ship now. I'm done.
Yeah. I've totally forgotten everything.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And that's how, what ends up happening then is you end up getting caught in your own lies because now it's, I thought you said it was this, but now you're saying it was this. Now, and it's because you couldn't remember what you said originally.
Now, at my age, I may not be lying to you, but I may literally have forgotten what I told you. So I might have said something that acts like a lie, but I'm too old to remember. But anyhow.
So that's what happens. You end up forgetting because you're putting so much effort into this and you're having to put so much work and energy to try and remember what story did I actually tell.
And who did I tell what story to? Because
Yeah.
if there's several people involved, they're like, well, did I tell them this or did I tell that one this? Or...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it ends up coming and biting you in the butt.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And again, kind of goes back to your sin will find you out.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? But there's so much effort you have to put into it that if you just simply just tell it like
Tell
it
the
is and
truth
just
and-
tell the truth from the beginning,
Yeah.
it would make life a whole lot easier. So then I actually saw two more by the Huffington Post.
Huffington.
Yeah. The Huffington.
Mhm.
All right. This is what they said. I'm suggesting that you consider just how easy it might be to tell one little white lie today, which then paves the way for another later on.
Mm.
Like, it's surprising that the Huffington Post like understands that basic
Yeah.
concept. Like, it's so easy to tell just a little white lie, and it paves the way
That's
to
great.
tell another one
Mhm.
and another one. And then it becomes kind of like what you were saying earlier. It becomes second nature,
Right.
you know?
You get so used to it.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's the thing, and it's not just lying. I would argue that this is true for any besetting sin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you give into it one time,
Right.
it makes it easier to give in
into it twice.
the second time and
the
then the third
third,
time
and- yeah.
until you get to a point where
You're so far in there.
you're so far
Yeah.
into it, you're calloused
Mhm.
of it, you know?
Mhm.
You're no longer convicted about it.
Sometimes you're in there and you're like, how do I ever get out of this now?
Yeah,
You
know,
know?
it's all those different
Yeah.
things. But it just takes that one time when you do it. Now it just makes it easier to do it the
Yeah,
next time.
second
And you,
time.
especially if you do it the first time and you're like,
That wasn't that bad.
that wasn't that
And
bad.
nobody
Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got
Right.
hurt.
I didn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, and
no
I-
one's feelings got
And
hurt.
I didn't get hurt myself.
And I didn't get hurt myself.
You know,
You know what?
let's try it again.
Right.
You know, and so it just continues to make it easier and easier
Yeah.
in a sense. But essentially, what it's doing is it's paving the way to
Yeah.
hell. So then the Huffington Post said one more thing, which I thought was the clearest, most honest thing the Huffington Post has ever said.
Yeah.
They said this, and I quote: "A white lie is, after all, a lie."
Mm.
Way to go, Huffington
Yeah.
Post.
Wow.
Good to see that they recognize it.
You know what?
That it doesn't matter how small it is,
Yeah. It's still a lie.
even if it's a little white
Mhm.
lie or if it's a
It's
fib,
not the truth.
it's not the truth. It's
Mhm.
still a lie.
That goes back to just sin and our sinful nature and sin in general. Is there like, well, little sin, a big sin?
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's a really big sin. No, sin is sin.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like,
there's
oh,
not a white.
murder.
Oh, that's white sin.
That's what
Oh,
I said.
that's black sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
sin.
Like, and we look at it and we're like, this is murder.
Yeah, murder's
That's terrible.
That's horrible.
You know,
But robbing a bank wasn't too bad because you needed the money.
not that big. Or, you know what, gossiping.
Yeah, that's not that big of a
Eh,
deal.
Not that big of a
Right.
deal. Who's really hurt by that?
Not
you know.
many people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and so like we even do the same thing, like you said, with all these other sins, you know, but at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm. It's a sin.
it's still sin.
At the end of the day, it's a lie. No matter
Exactly.
what color lie you want it to be.
Looking for an easy and economical way to partner with Bancroft? For cheaper than a movie ticket, a Disney Plus Hulu subscription, and a meal at Chick-fil-A, you can make an eternal impact for just $10 a month. For only $10 a month, you become part of an alliance of financial supporters who are providing for the financial needs of the ministry. I know that $10 doesn't really seem like a lot of money, but it's a donation that everyone is able to participate in. Whether you're on a fixed budget, a child using birthday money, everyone is able to find $10 a month to donate. You probably can even find $10 in the cushions of your couch. It's as easy as replacing one fast food meal a month, or replacing 1 or 2 cups of coffee a month. For students, maybe just wash one car a month. Maybe for students, make this your birthday or Christmas present. No matter how big or how small, young or old, everyone can participate in $10 a month, and every little bit helps fund everything we do here at Bancroft throughout the year. Head on over to BancroftGospelMinistry.org, click on any of the donate buttons throughout the website, and sign up for our $10 a month club. Make sure to click to make it reoccurring so you never miss a month to partner with us. And so again, so what is a lie? And so like we looked at a definition or a couple definitions of little white lie.
Mhm.
But going back to like Webster's dictionary.
Yes.
So you can go and you can look up Merriam-Webster, but it's more of a modernized one.
Okay.
And so many times I like to go back to Webster's, I think it's 1828 dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
because it's interesting how he defined things originally versus how the new updated modern versions reflect things. So I was like, okay, let me go to the Webster's 1828 dictionary, and I typed in little white lie. And you know what came up? Nothing. Because the little white lie wasn't even a phrase that, warranted a definition in a dictionary. But a lie was in there. Like just a straight up
flat out
lie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no, back then, there was no tiers
differentiation.
Tiers of lies.
Yeah, it's like a lie is a lie, right? So here's how a couple ways he defined a lie. And I thought this was pretty interesting. So Webster, in his 1828 dictionary, he defined a lie as a criminal falsehood. That's a pretty big deal, right? A criminal falsehood. A falsehood uttered for the purpose of deception. An intentional violation of truth. It is willful deceit that makes a lie. To utter falsehood with an intention to deceive or with an immoral design. I thought that was interesting because everything in there, it showed intentionality, right? There's a purpose behind the deception, right? There's an intentional violation of truth. There's willful deceit. There's intention to deceive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like Webster, whenever he defined in 1828 was like, this is deliberate.
Right.
Like we know what we're doing when we do this.
Premeditated murder. I mean, right.
Premeditated murder, premeditated lying.
I've thought about this. I've thought through this. Okay. This is the story I'm going to tell.
Yep. And I'm doing it for a specific
person, for a specific reason.
Yep. Again, there's an intentionality.
It's great to be intentional, but be truthfully intentional.
Yeah, right? That would be a whole lot better than be, intentionally deceptive.
Yeah.
So then he goes on and he says, to exhibit a false representation, to say or do that which deceives another when he has a right to know the truth. I thought that was really interesting. Or when morality requires a just representation. Like in our notes, like I highlighted, I italiced, I emboldened, and I underlined when he has a right to know the truth.
Right. Yeah.
Because at what point does a person not have a right to know the truth?
Sorry, that was just, I knew you were saying.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Pretty funny. And if someone did have, if there was a time when you don't have the right to know the truth, who are we to let me determine that.
Yeah.
Let me determine when I'll decide when you should know the truth or not.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting because it's like, okay, when he has a right to know the truth, to say or do something to deceive somebody else when they have a right to know the truth. The fact is, every person always has a right to know the truth. Always. And so if we're saying something or we're doing something to deceive somebody, we are robbing them of their right to know the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is also why we see in Scripture, like, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like, because when we lie, when we're deceptive, not only are we robbing that person of their right to know the truth, but essentially we are enslaving ourselves to those lies.
To the lies, yeah.
So now we can't be free because now we're in bondage to our deception. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really interesting when we kind of go through that, when we're thinking about lying and what really is a lie. There's an intentionality that's there to deceive. It doesn't matter if it's with good intention. It doesn't matter if it's so I don't hurt your feelings, or so I don't make you upset.
Well, if I'm saying something to not hurt your feelings, I'm deceiving you.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
and the thing is, that person has a right to know the truth.
You have a right.
No matter how much it might possibly hurt or offend, they have a right to know the truth. And so we rob them of that right when we lie to them because we're intentionally deceiving them. Because I don't believe ultimately that there is a unintentional lie that takes place. I think we just are so used to telling lies it becomes second nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we know that if I lie, then either I can avoid conflict If I lie, then I'm not going to hurt this person or upset them. If I lie, I can get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Mm-hmm.
lie, I can justify my
I
actions.
didn't know I was speeding.
Yeah. No, but you did.
Yeah, well,
Because you did it on purpose.
mm-hmm.
Whether you sat back for the last week and a half and premeditated the entire story of what you're going to say,
Mm-hmm.
or in the moment you did it for a specific reason.
Right.
Whether it was subconscious, whether you realized what the reason was or understood the motivation, you did it for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There was an intention behind it to deceive that person, regardless of what your intention was. So not only
I had
do we
good
rob them,
intentions, though.
which is
My
great.
intentions were good.
The
I'm
road
sorry.
to hell is paved with good intentions,
Well,
JT.
I should be a road paver then. Yeah, right. But you can see people saying, "Well, I had good intentions. My intentions were blah 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 blah,"
Yeah.
and that sounds so good. Well,
Well, good for you.
good for you. You still lied.
Exactly. And so when we think about lying, like the Bible is not silent in any way, shape, or form
No,
when it comes to lying.
neither was my mother. Anyhow.
So like we can read through some of these. Like I have
Yeah.
a lot of verses, and I've got some of them kind of broken up in like groups.
Categories.
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
word
Now
I'm
this
trying
is
to get
not
out.
obviously an exhaustive list.
Yes.
You can viewers and listeners can go and listen and do their own research.
Yes.
Because again, like the Bible is nowhere close to being silent about
3/4
lying.
of the Bible
Exactly.
is all about lying.
So the fact is, first and foremost, like we're commanded not to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people realize this or not, but it's actually one of the 10 commandments. It's like if you don't know any other commands of Scripture,
Thou shalt not
bear false witness. You know what that means?
lie.
Don't lie,
Mm-hmm.
right? Exodus chapter 20, one of the 10 commandments. God on the Mount Sinai, is giving Moses the law, and he's
Mount
like,
of
hey,
Sinai.
like just know,
Yeah. Yeah.
do not bear false witness.
Yep.
Thou shalt not do it.
Against only your neighbor? No,
well,
okay.
that's a whole nother question of who is my neighbor.
Well, who's my neighbor?
There's actually a
It's your
VeggieTales
mom.
episode about that too.
Oh, mercy. Somebody come save me.
So Leviticus 19:11. Again, here's another command. You shall not steal. You shall not deal falsely. You shall not lie to one another.
That right there is the sprinkler head. Shouldn't steal. You shouldn't deal falsely, and you shouldn't lie to your mom about it.
You broke 3 laws, right? The 3 commands.
Well,
in that one
the
action.
whatever to whatever is paved with good intention, or whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
These are like, can it be any more black and white than that?
No. Look at the Psalms 34:13. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit.
It's pretty
I'm not
straightforward.
laughing at the Bible, but I'm just laughing because it's like, is there you have any questions?
Yeah, like it's pretty straightforward. Proverbs 4:24. Put away from you crooked speech and put devious talk far from you. Like,
Yeah.
this is blunt. Colossians chapter 3. Do not lie to one another. And like, we could just stop there, right?
Right. Comma.
But he says, but why?
Yeah.
Well, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator.
Mhm.
What's Paul saying? He's like, first of all, do not lie to one another. But the reason you don't lie to one another, not only because you've been commanded to, but it's because being deceptive and being a liar is part of the old nature.
Right.
And like it's old practices.
Right.
Right.
We're of the new nature.
But you're of the new nature.
Mhm.
You've been
We're a new
created. You're a new creation.
Right.
Now put on the new self, which is being renewed in the knowledge after the image of its creator. And I think that's important. Right? Because when we lie, okay, and we're gonna talk about this here in just a second when we look at another verse. When we lie, we are not following after the image of our creator. Because our creator God is not a liar.
He's the truth.
Yeah. Jesus said himself, John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah.
Like he is truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we lie, we are not being conformed to the image of our creator.
Right.
In fact, we're conforming more to the father of lies, Satan himself.
Yes.
And so again, like we're commanded in scripture not to lie. Another thing that I think is interesting is that when we lie, essentially what that means is that we hate those whom we lie to. Okay? Liars hate those whom they lie to. Listen to these verses. Proverbs chapter 26, verses 18 and 19 say this. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I'm only joking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's brutal.
Yeah.
So if you are the person who's like, I'm just joking. I'm just going to tell you this little white lie. I'm going to give you this little fib, and I'm going to deceive you. You are essentially a madman who's throwing arrows and death at those people. If I'm throwing arrows and death, usually I'm not doing that to my friends.
Right.
And to people I love.
People I like.
Right?
People, yeah.
Like, if I'm doing it to an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who I hate. Right?
Right.
And that's essentially what Solomon is telling us, that a person who lies is like. You hate that person because you're throwing firebrands and arrows and death at them with your words and with your deception.
Do you tell your kids that verse?
No.
You better not lie to me or you're throwing.
But maybe I'm gonna paint it on their walls.
Yeah. Right. So when Bryce wakes up in the morning, the first thing he sees is like, oh, I better tell the truth all day long. I'm scared.
So listen to this other one.
In
the same chapter, Solomon says this in verse 28 of Proverbs 26. He says, a lying tongue hates its victims, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Like, that's pretty straightforward. Yeah. A lying tongue hates its victims. When you lie, you're not loving them. When you lie, even if you're like, I'm just saying this out of love so I don't hurt your feelings. Mm-hmm. No. In fact, you're actually hating them.
Yeah. Because
you're lying to them.
If you love them, I'm not going to tell you the truth because I love you. No. If you really loved me, you'd just tell me the truth.
Yep.
No matter if it stings or not.
Yeah. Here's another truth about liars that we see in Scripture. The Lord hates them. And I know that might be sticky because some people are going to be like, oh, hate the sin, love the sinner, that kind of stuff. Well, listen to these verses and you tell me about this, okay? Psalm 101:7. It says this, no one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes. He's like, all right, if you're practicing deceit, if you're uttering lies, you can't even be around me. Like, you're not allowed to dwell in my sanctuary. You can't even be in my presence. You know, I hate this.
It's pretty strong.
You cannot, like I don't allow you to be in my presence. He hates liars. Listen to this one. Psalm chapter 5, verse 6. You destroy those who speak lies. The you is in reference to God. You destroy those who speak lies. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
He's not like, I'm just a little upset at them.
Yeah.
I just don't really like them.
Nowhere in there is it like, you just told a little white lie.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. No.
He's like, I abhor you and I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah. He's disgusted with us.
Exactly. That's pretty strong. Listen to what Solomon says in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. He says, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. So what Solomon is doing is he's kind of giving a contrast, right? So if you act faithfully, if you speak faithfully, if you tell the truth, right, then you are the delight in God's eyes. Like he's pleased, he's happy, he's delighted in you. But if you lie, you are an abomination. Like, I think we need to realize, myself included, God hates lying, and he hates those who practice it. Which is why I think it's not just a little white lie. It's not just a little fib. It's not just, I'm telling you this with good intentions because I love you. It's not that stuff. God hates it all.
Yeah.
You know? And when we are practicing it, he is not pleased with us.
Not pleased with us.
At all.
It just makes me think back to, like, when you said, it's a little white lie or a little, it just makes me think back to like a scale. Well, it's just all the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Lord hates all of it, whether it be that little white lie or that gigantic
malicious lie.
Yeah.
So here's another truth about lies. Okay. Liars will be punished. Like, there's always this like kind of joke of, where do liars go? But the fact is, like, liars will be punished. And I think we saw it in some of the other verses,
Yeah.
Like, God's like, no, you can't dwell in my house. You can't come
be
into my
around
sanctuary.
me.
You can't be around
Yeah.
me. You can't be in my
Yeah.
presence. Like, that's punishment enough. But in Proverbs chapter 19, in verse 5 and verse 9, Solomon says this. He says, a false witness will not go unpunished. Like, you will be punished for lying. And he who breathes out lies will not escape. Kind of goes back to the Numbers verse that we talked about before. Like, be sure your sin will find you out. Like living a dishonest life has consequences, and you're not going to get away with anything. Ultimately, you will not escape. And then he goes down to verse 9. He says, he says this again, a false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will perish. Like, he's essentially saying the same thing in both verses, right? But he's like, hey, like, don't be deceived. Like, don't deceive yourself in this.
Don't kid yourself.
You will be punished for these lies.
And that one portion where it says, he who breathes out lies will not escape. And I may be telling these lies to try to escape.
Yeah.
I'm trying to escape whatever, and I'm having to tell these lies, thinking I'm going to be freed.
Yeah. Well, no.
No, you're not.
No.
At the end of the day, you
free.
and you might have told these lies and freed yourself, quote unquote, in on earth or in this circumstance you're in. But
it's a false freedom.
But it's a false freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, going back to the verse we referenced, a while back, where Jesus says, like, and you will know the truth, and the truth will what?
Set you free.
Like, that's true freedom. Like, when we're living honestly, when we're telling the truth, that is how we can live in true freedom.
Because we're not escaping anything.
No.
When you're telling the truth.
The government is always looking for ways to tax our hard-earned money and investments. One of the ways they like to take our money is through capital gains taxes. This is where the government taxes our profits from smart investments that we make through the stock market, the selling of real estate, and other valuable property. But what if I told you that there was a way to escape some of these taxes? Instead of giving some of the profits to the government, why not give it to a ministry that you love? That's right. You can avoid some capital gains taxes by donating stock that has increased in value to a nonprofit organization. Many donors have found that this is an easy way to increase their donation while helping themselves at tax time. Stock Donator is a great organization that makes your stock donations to nonprofits as easy as pie. Simply go to stockdonator.com and follow the online prompts to donate your stock to Bancroft today and help support the ministry that you love. Visit Stock Donator today and make a lasting contribution to the ministry. Here's the honest truth about lying.
Tell me the honest truth.
Okay, there's a couple things. This one's going to be pretty strong.
I see that already.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's gonna call in on this one.
First, honest truth. Okay. When we lie, we are satanic. Listen to what Jesus says in John chapter 8, verse 44. He says, you are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the what?
Truth.
He does not stand in the truth. Why? Because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character. Why? Because he is a liar and the father of lies. When we lie, we are not being conformed or modeling the image of our Creator.
Right.
Because our Creator is
the father of truth.
Is the father of truth.
Right.
Right. So when we lie, we're actually being satanic, and we're following after
the father of lies.
Father of lies and his desires. And that's Satan. When we lie, whether we want to accept it or not, whether it's a big malicious lie
or a little white
lie, you're satanic. It's a demonic thing that's taking place because you're following after the father of lies. And I know that probably seems strong.
Yeah, that's a little heavy.
But that's what we see throughout Scripture.
But it is the truth.
When we lie, we're being satanic. Yeah. And we're following after the father of lies, the devil, because that is who and what he is. Right? And so I think even with that, it's like, maybe I should be more honest because I don't want to be like Satan.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be like the devil. Well, okay, good. Then tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and be a person of the truth all the time. Even if it's going to hurt, even if it's going to offend, even if it's going to create
At
conflict.
the end of the day, it's easier
To tell a lie?
Yeah. No.
Or to tell the truth?
Yes, to tell a lie. I didn't go to McDonald's on my way here. No, it's at the end of the day, it's just easier to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Period.
In the grand
Then you don't have
scheme
to
of
keep
it.
up with things.
Yep.
You don't have to keep up with what I told everybody or who I told what to. And along the way, by telling the truth, yes, it might hurt. Some folks may have a little hurt by that, but it's the truth.
Exactly.
And it's to be told.
And the thing is, like, and we deceive ourselves thinking that the easy way out is to tell the lie.
Yeah.
You know, we're lying to ourselves and we're deceiving ourselves, believing that if I can just tell this lie, I can get out of it. And this is the easy route. When ultimately it's the route of destruction.
Yeah.
And it's the route of being satanic and being demonic and how we're living our lives, right? It's not the easy way. It's the path to destruction. You know, sometimes the harder route in the moment is to tell the truth, but ultimately it's the easier way.
Yes.
You know, and God wants us to avoid all of that conflict, all of that destruction, all of that punishment, all of those different things because of our lies. When He says, "Well, then just tell the truth,"
and He's going to honor you for that.
Absolutely.
You know, so in telling the truth, if it's caused a few issues with some people because you did tell the honest truth.
Yep.
Well, I think the Lord's going to honor you for telling the truth, and the Lord's going to take care of whatever this cloud of dust that's caused, you know, that you've caused by telling the truth.
Yep, exactly.
Okay? And He's going to protect you if there needs to be protection. He's going to protect you from whatever this may have stirred up. But two, in telling the truth, the honest truth, whether it's well received or not, you walk away holding your head high.
Yep.
You know that, hey, I've told the truth. Maybe it was not in a circumstance where it hurts anyone's feelings. But hey, I've told the truth.
So I think that's the first thing that we need to grasp about the honest truth about lying is that when we lie, we are being satanic. You know, the second thing is that when we lie, ultimately we're lying to God. There's a great story, but there's an account in the book of Acts chapter 5 of Ananias and Sapphira, right? And so there's, you know, the saints are bringing like their offerings to the apostles, and Ananias and Sapphira are a husband and wife duo, and they had purchased some property, and they came and they were going to tithe a portion of that to the church in a sense, right? But they had deceived or lied about how much they had actually gotten for that property. And they just gave a portion, but they didn't give what they were really supposed to give. And so they kind of lied about it, right? So you can go and read the passage if you want to. But in verse 3, Peter tells Ananias this, okay, who is the husband. It says, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit? So let me just stop there real quick. Why has Satan filled your heart? Okay. Ananias is following after the father of lies.
Yeah.
He's being satanic, you know, in his deception, right? Why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back for yourself part of the proceeds of the land? That's essentially what Ananias and Sapphira had done, right? They had sold the property. They were going to give, you know, they should have given X amount.
10%.
But they held back, right? And they lied about what it was by simply giving. So then he goes, you have not lied to man, but to God. So Peter just straight up says, hey, like, you lied about this. And you're not just lying to me and to the other apostles or to the saints. Ultimately, you're lying to God. And what ends up happening in that story, it's found in verses 1 through 11 of Acts chapter 5. He drops dead.
Well,
like God kills him right there. A little bit later, Sapphira, his wife, comes in and then tells a lie as well.
Yes.
Like Peter confronts her, she tells a lie, and God kills her too.
She drops dead.
You know, He kills them both. And again, it kind of goes back to, hey, God hates lies and He hates liars, and you're going to be punished, and your sin will find you out.
Seriously,
right? And it's a serious issue. You know what I mean?
To the point of where, well, you're dead.
Yeah, like that's pretty significant.
Wow.
You know, so like if we're thinking about like the honest truth about lying, when we lie, we are being satanic. and when we lie, we're ultimately lying to God. Both of those truths are extremely serious.
Yeah.
Because God wants us to be people of truth, like we talked just a minute ago, because he is truth.
Right.
John 14:6, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He wants us to model him,
Right.
our creator. Well, then if we're going to do that, then we need to tell the truth, and we need to be people of the truth. But the Bible isn't silent on telling the truth either. So take all the verses that we read about lying, right? So if all of those things are true, which they are, okay, well, then the opposite of those, it's hey, when we're commanded not to lie, then essentially we're being commanded to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
You know how that,
be honest.
See how that kind of works? And so we can take every verse where the Bible commands us not to be liars, okay, and the opposite is also going to be true, to where we're being commanded to be honest and to be truthful, right? But here's a couple more. And one we've already talked about, Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. God delights in honesty, and he delights in people who are living lives of truthfulness.
Yes.
Right? Here's another. And so the NLT actually takes that same verse and words it this way. The Lord detests lying lips. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But he delights in those who tell the truth. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25 says, therefore, having put away falsehood, having put away lying, deception, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. What are we commanded to do?
The truth. Tell the truth.
Speak the truth. Zechariah chapter 6 in the Old Testament, verse 18 says this, these are the things that you shall do. The first thing, speak the truth to one another. Render in your gates judgments that are true and make for peace. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So here's some things you need to do. The very first one, speak the truth.
Yeah. The next one, speak the truth.
Yeah. The Bible is not quiet about lying.
It's not quite about lying. It's not quiet about us telling the truth.
Yeah, truthfulness.
Well, either we're telling the truth or we're lying. There's not really an in between. There's not a gray area. Yeah, right. There's no gray area. There's no middle lane there. It's either the right or the left.
Yeah, exactly. So again, going back to the Huffington Post, a little white lie is still a lie.
It's still a lie.
It doesn't matter how big or how small. A lie is a lie. It's deceitful. Yeah. And God hates it. So what does it mean then to tell the truth? Right. And so our theme for this past summer was Battle Royale. And we were talking about the armor of God. And one of the pieces of the armor of God is the belt of truth. So the armor of God can be found in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18. But one of the pieces, I believe it's the first one that's mentioned, is the belt of truth. Okay. And so often, I think when we think about the belt of truth and the armor of God, we think about the truth of God's word. And there's truth in that. But Paul isn't going about specific pieces of armor, and those kind of things. These are practical things. These are very real things that need to be put into practice every single day. And so what Paul kind of lays out throughout the book of Ephesians and then kind of summarizes in Ephesians 6 in the armor of God is this belt of truth, which ultimately is just living an honest life. It's telling the truth to your neighbor. It's not deceiving yourselves, but telling the truth. And I think you can kind of parallel Ephesians 6 with Psalm chapter 15. So Psalm chapter 15 is a beautiful psalm. And it says this. It's a psalm of David. He says, O Lord, who shall sojourn in your tent? Who shall dwell on your holy hill? The question he's asking is, okay, God, so who can be in your presence?
Yeah, right. Who can be hanging around you?
Yeah. And again, if you go back to some of the verses about lying, where God's like you can't be around me.
You're not invited to the party if you're a liar.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
David's asking the same question. Lord, who can sojourn in your tent? Who can dwell on your holy hill? And here's the answer. Verse 2, he who walks blamelessly and does what is right and speaks truth in his heart. Verse 3, who does not slander with his tongue and does no evil to his neighbor, nor takes up a reproach against his friend, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord, who swears to his own hurt and does not change, who does not put out his money at interest and does not take a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things shall never be moved. So if we want to look at this question, what does it mean to tell the truth? Let's break down Psalm 15. And I just want to give, I think, like 4 or 5 things real quick. To tell the truth means, first and foremost, to tell the truth to yourself. Verse 2 said, and speaks truth in his heart. To tell the truth means to tell the truth to yourself about yourself. Don't lie to yourself about who you really are, right? Don't lie to yourself about the sin that's in your heart.
Yeah.
Don't cover it up. Don't lie to yourself thinking that you're better than you think you are. Like if we're gonna be people of truth, if we're gonna tell the truth, then we
start with yourself.
Start with yourself.
Yeah. You know, if you can't tell the truth to yourself, then how can you tell the truth to others?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, on a regular basis. I'm not talking every single day, every single moment, but if I can't be truthful to myself that I'm a dirty, rotten sinner, you know, and that I need work, myself needs work.
Yep.
How can I be truthful to others?
Yep.
And until I start that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know? And again, we're all working on ourselves all the time.
Sure.
I mean, I'm working harder than you are because I have a lot more to work on.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, how can we be honest with others if we can't be honest with ourselves?
Yep. And I think the Apostle John in the book of 1 John, he actually says like when you sin, like don't say that you have no sin. You know, because if you tell yourself that you have no sin, you're a liar. You know, and you're deceiving yourself. Which is why it's so important then for us to tell the truth to ourselves first. Like we need to be honest with ourselves about who we really are and about our sin.
How can you tell yourself you have no sin? Like that's beyond my brain to begin with. Like we're sinners.
True.
Right.
But again, like I think kind of goes back to, you know, you start telling yourself these little things and then after a while you start to believe the lies, you know, and the lies that you tell other people, you start to believe those. You know? And so that's why, like, again, like you don't want to just do this little white lie, this little fib, because then you have to build onto it. It becomes exhausting and you have to put so much energy into it. And now it creates a monster, you know, and now it's just like, well, I can't defeat this now. I'm just going to live now in this lie. And I'm going to live in this deception. Yeah. And we'll do that to ourselves too, because we lie to ourselves about our sin. We lie to ourselves about who we are or who we think we are, you know, and God's like, no. Like, I just need you to be honest about yourself because when you're honest about yourself, that's when I can come and I can help. And so what does it mean to tell the truth? First of all, we need to tell the truth about ourselves. Second thing would be to tell the truth about others. Okay. Verse 3 says, who does not slander with his tongue. What does it mean to slander? To slander basically means
to lie?
To lie about other people.
To hurt someone else?
Yeah. Well, not just to hurt somebody else, but I'm going to lie about you to others. Yeah. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to slander you to other people.
I'm lying to others about you and I'm hurting you whether you know it or not by telling all these people the lie about you.
Yep. I mean, you can Google or maybe not Google, but you can look up slander in the Bible and it's everywhere. You know, and essentially, what is that? It's telling lies about other people to other people. You know, I'm slandering you with my tongue to those around me. You know, I'm saying bad things about you. I'm telling lies about you. Things, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. A lie's still a lie.
Just checking. Yeah, right. But it's just a little thing. Yeah. It wasn't that big of a deal, was it?
And see, and this is where like gossiping comes into this as well.
Yeah. I was thinking that a minute ago.
You know? I can tell rumors about somebody. I can gossip about them. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm slandering them to everybody else around them.
But I said it as a prayer request. You know that. You know I'm going with that, right? Yeah. But still, it's you're not speaking the truth about someone. Yep. No matter what.
Exactly. And so if we're gonna be people of truth, you know, like our Creator, well, then we're gonna tell the truth about other people, and we're not gonna slander them. Yeah. You know. The third thing would be this.
So listen, from here on out, if it hurts, I'm sorry, it's the truth.
Hey, just give it to me. Yeah. All right. Here's the third thing. What does it mean to tell the truth? It means to tell the truth about sin and wickedness. Yeah. So listen to verse 4 of Psalm 15. In whose eyes a vile person is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord. essentially, what are we doing? We're recognizing the vile person.
Mm-hmm.
We're recognizing wickedness.
Yes.
We're recognizing what is sin. And I think like we're struggling with this so much in our culture. You know, we're confusing truth with a lie.
Yeah.
We're confusing, truth with falsehood,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're confusing evil with good, and the Bible speaks about that too. Like don't call evil good and good evil. But we're doing that so often in our culture these days. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think half the time we know good from evil.
Exactly. And we're struggling with that. And so if we're going to be people of the truth like our Creator, then we need to make sure we're telling the truth about what sin is and what is wicked. That we are recognizing a vile person and we're despising it.
Mm-hmm.
We're hating sin, just like God does, And we're pointing out like that's wicked.
We're recognizing the sin.
And so what does it mean to tell the truth? First thing, tell the truth about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell the truth about others. Do not slander. Tell the truth about sin and wickedness.
Yeah.
The fourth thing is this: keep your word. Verse 4 also says, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord, who swears to his own hurt and does not change. Okay. So like, I'm going to keep my word. We see this in Scripture. Let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Yeah.
Like, don't swear by, the throne in heaven or by this or by that. Like, just tell the truth.
Well, they say your word is the only thing. It's like that's all you have.
Yeah,
is your word.
Yeah, it reminds me of our good friend James Cleveland. So like we would joke around all the time about different stuff. At any point, like if you like told a joke or you said something, and he would be like, "Give me your word."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you were stuck.
Yeah,
you're like, "No, why did you have to say that? Because this is going to be such a good joke." And he's like, "Give me your word."
Thanks.
And it's like, okay,
just ruined it.
Yeah. Okay, I got to be honest now. I can't joke anymore.
Yeah.
Well, why? Well, because if we're going to tell the truth, then we're going to swear to our own hurt and not change.
Yeah.
We're going to keep our word. Our yes is going to be yes. Our no is going to be no.
Mm-hmm. And again, no in between.
There's no in between. And God doesn't give us an in between.
What is it like? You're a man of your word.
Yeah, be a man of your word. Mm-hmm. Keep your word.
Or a woman of your word.
That's a person of your word. There you go.
Whatever.
Exactly. And then finally, if we're going to tell the truth, it means just tell the truth to others.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lie to them.
Yeah.
Be a person of your word. Tell people the truth. And so what does it mean to tell the truth? It means, all right, we're going to put on the belt of truth.
Yeah.
Every single day. We're going to put on that piece of armor by being men and women, boys and girls, young, old people of honesty and of truthfulness. Why? Well, because that's the image of our Creator. He's truthful, which means he's called us to be like him, which means we are called then to be truthful. And we're commanded to be truthful throughout Scripture, right? We want to be people of our word. We want to tell the truth we want to tell the truth to ourselves. We want to tell the truth about others. We want to tell the truth about sin and wickedness. We want to be people of our word and keep our word and tell the truth to other people. Like, that's who we should be, and that's what we're commanded to be.
When we talk about that, the armor, in that belt of truth, I'm thinking, the different pieces of armor are for different things. And so, we're putting on that belt of truth, and that belt of truth is to fight against and to keep us from the ultimate liar. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, as you said, I just was picturing this in my mind as you're putting on your belt every day, which I don't think most of us wear belts because our shorts don't allow that. But, you're putting on your belt every day, but that belt, okay, I'm putting on this belt, the belt of truth, and this belt is to help me fight against the master of lies. Yep. And then, then there's all the different armor, right? The shield and this and that, but that belt, that's what's fighting against. Yeah. The master of lies.
I think that's a great
just a thought, just like a thought, like hey,
that's good
whether we put our pants on or we put a belt on, we have a waistband or whatever, but it's like you button your pants, whatever it is. Yeah. You think, hey, I'm putting this on now, and this is going to help me remind me today I'm going to fight against the master of lies.
Yeah, that's a great point because again, like the father of lies. Yeah, he's the one, and his army and his minions are the ones who are shooting the fiery darts of the wicked, right?
All day long.
Mm-hmm. And so we need to put on the belt of truth to be honest with ourselves, to be honest about what sin is, to be honest about our own sin, to be honest to other people, and to be honest about other people, so that all these fiery darts of deception and lies and all those different things that he's sending our way as the father of lies, we can defend against that by just simply telling the truth. And so, like, as we go through our days, you know, let's not be like the boy who cried wolf, you know, where, you know, if we're telling lies all the time, like the one time we tell the truth, nobody's going to believe us, you know, because liars are not believed even when they speak the truth, you know. Let us not be like the boy who cried wolf, but let us be men and women of truthfulness and honesty in the image of our Creator.